Okay, so let's give this a try. We're gonna show how to summarize your observations for a particular day in eBird and get the total number of each species seen across all checklists. And this is something that you need to do for entering CBC data. It used to be something that was pretty easy to do using a Summarize My Observations tool that was on the eBird website, but that tool was apparently discontinued in 2019, and that functionality has yet to be restored. And so the way that we're going to do this is a little bit cumbersome, but we're going to need to go on the eBird website to My eBird. We're going to scroll down, and on the left we're going to find Download My Data. We're going to click that, and then it's going to give you this little bit about how they're going to email you the data. And you click Submit, and then the data gets emailed to you shortly later. We're going to skip actually that step because I've already downloaded the data and gotten the email and opened it up, and you're going to open up the data in Microsoft Excel. Let's get this so we can see the whole window here. There we go. I think we can see everything we need to now. So we're going to get our data open in Microsoft Excel. This demo is on a Mac, but on a PC you're going to be able to do all the same things. You might just need to click in slightly different places. But the procedure we're going to do is we're going to click in the upper left corner of the table here to select all of the cells, and we're going to click here to insert a pivot table. We're going to go to the Insert drop down from the menu bar, click Pivot Table, click OK, and you're going to see all of the columns of that original spreadsheet are now here as choices to select for field names. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to find the date. We're going to go down here and find the date. And we're going to slide the date down here into the filters section. And that's going to put the word date with all in parentheses here in the first cell. And when we click the down arrow next to the word date, it's going to allow us to select any date that appears in our data set. And so I'm going to arbitrarily go with the date where I know that I have multiple checklists. We'll go to this date in May, and when we click here to select, I guess that just unselects. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so look, that's fun. It has all of these dates selected by default, so if you want to unselect them all before you pick your particular date, you need to click the check mark next to select all, and that will unselect all. Makes sense, doesn't it? Alright, so now let's go back to that date of interest. Notice it has every single date for every single day I have an eBird checklist. But we're going to select just the date we're interested in. In this case, we'll pretend that the CBC was on May 22nd, and that has now set our filter for the right day. Next, we're going to go back to this field name area, and we're going to select species, and I'll just do it by common name because they're more familiar to most folks, and we'll drag that and drop it down here into where it says rows. And now we have a row for each species that we saw on that day. Now finally, we're going to go and we're going to select count as a field name, and we're going to drag that down to this little sigma values or sum of values section. We're going to drop it in there, and by default it's telling us the count here, so it says count of count. What that means is that it's showing us how many checklists each species appeared on for that day. So American crow appeared in 2 checklists that day, American goldfinch appeared in 3, but what we really want is the total number across all these eBird checklists. And so what we're going to do now is there's a little I next to the count of counts here in the sum of values. It might be a down arrow on a PC, I'm not sure. It might look a little bit different, but click somewhere near there, and this new box will pop up. And what we're going to do is we're going to change it from count to sum. We're going to click OK, and now instead of showing the number of checklists that each species was on, it's going to show us the total number of individuals that were reported across all checklists. And this is the data that you want to submit for your Christmas bird count. And so a little bit convoluted to do this, but technically still possible, and it's convenient. It is, in the end, if you follow this procedure, a net time saver. So thanks for listening. Hope it's clear, and if not, oh well. Yeah, figure out how to stop this thing. All right.